Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Zach's Credit Card Guide. Today we're talking about some pretty major, drastic, positive changes to the whole Delta line from American Express. If you are new to the channel, we do a lot of cool credit card topics, card reviews, and redemption tips, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. But let's get started. Alright guys, so this video I'm going to try to keep it as brief as possible, but there are major changes across the board on all of the Delta cards from American Express, so go grab some snacks, settle in, let's get into it. So we're going to cut this video into two pieces. The first is the new elevated bonus offers, and then some of the benefits changes. So we're going to do those one section at a time, and we'll go through each card. Now these bonus offers are available only for October, beginning tomorrow, October 1st, to the end of the month. We don't know what'll happen after that, but they'll for sure be good for that month. So first, touching on some of the personal cards, we're going to talk about the Delta Gold card. The bonus offer is going to be 60,000 miles after spending $2,000 in the first 3 months. You'll also be eligible for a $50 statement credit on Delta purchases made in the first 3 months. And data points do suggest that gift cards should trigger that. So once you get your new card, go on delta.com, buy a $50 gift card with your new card, and it should trigger that statement credit. Next is the Delta Platinum personal card. Now this is not the same as the Platinum Charge card. I always feel like I just want to specify that for anyone who's kind of new to this. The Platinum card that you might think of from American Express, that's not this. There is a Delta Airlines co-branded Platinum card, and it's kind of mid to upper tier in their line. Now this one is offering an even better bonus of 75,000 Delta miles for $3,000 in spend in the first 3 months. And you are also eligible for a $100 statement credit for Delta purchases made in those first 3 months, just like the Gold card. So again, get your card, go on delta.com, buy a gift card for $100. That should work. Next, we have the Delta Reserve. This is top of the line for the Delta range, and this has the same bonus as the Delta Platinum, 75,000 bonus miles for spending $5,000 in the first 3 months. Now, what is interesting about that is that the Gold card has the same number of miles for only $3,000 in spend, where this one is 75,000 miles for $5,000 in spend, and there's no indication that the statement credit portion is included on the Reserve. So as far as that, the bonus on the Platinum card looks like the best bang for your buck. Now moving over to the business card range, and a couple of these I have my eye on. I might pick up one or two of these cards. First is the Delta Gold, and it will be offering 70,000 bonus miles for $4,000 in spend in the first 3 months. So that puts it right under those top two personal cards, pretty much in line with the personal Gold version. And like the Gold, there is a $50 statement credit offer for Delta purchases in the first 3 months. Now the Delta Business Platinum and Reserve have the highest bonus offerings of all of the cards that we're talking about today. For the Business Platinum and the Reserve, it's 80,000 miles for spending $6,000 in the first 3 months. So now we're going to talk about some of the new earning categories and benefits coming to these cards January 30th of next year. So first, for the Delta Blue personal version. This is the only card that does not appear to be getting any sort of elevated bonus, but they are making some changes to the benefits. So first is no more foreign transaction fees, where previously it was nearly 3%, and the Delta Blue earns 2 times Delta miles at US restaurants. That restaurant category is now being expanded to worldwide. Now this card is pretty light on benefits. All it really gives you is secondary rental car coverage, which isn't really worth a lot. And the bonus that it offers right now is 10,000 miles for $500 in spend. So a pretty weak bonus. Now why you may want to pick this one up is if you think that you're going to get one of these other Delta cards and downgrade it at some point, which is what you should do instead of canceling it when you don't get value from it. If you want to downgrade it to this, the Delta Blue personal version, which has no annual fee, if you don't get the Blue first, if you just go straight to downgrade, you can never get a bonus on the Delta Blue if you were to apply for it later because you've held the card before. So if you think that's something you'd want to do in the future, I would recommend applying for the Delta Blue at some point between now and then. So again, we're going to move on to the other cards in a second, but because this is Delta Blue specific, I want to touch on it. So let's just say you've decided you're going to go for the Delta Gold personal card, because you can only downgrade within families. So if you have a personal card, it can only change up and down levels on the personal side, same with the business. So if you get any of the Delta personal cards, the Gold, Platinum, or Reserve, and you want to downgrade it later to the personal no annual fee version, then sometime between now and then, so apply, get your Gold card, and then in like 9 or 10 months before you go to downgrade that, before the annual fee hits, or whenever that is in the future, apply for the Blue card, get it, get the bonus, and then downgrade this one when that time comes. Worst case, you end up with 2 of them. That's not a big deal. And then you could cancel one later if you needed to free up a slot, because American Express typically limits people to only having 5 cards at a time, but at least you got that bonus rather than giving it up. Now, typically, it's only about 10,000 miles anyway. That's not going to get you really anywhere, but that could be the difference in getting the ticket to where you want to go. So maybe you want to go somewhere, you get like 70,000 miles from one of these bonuses, but maybe you needed like 85,000 or something, and this might just get you there. So anyway, the point is, do your research, know about these options and strategies, and make the best decision for you. Now moving on to the Delta Gold personal version. This will have 2 times miles on Delta purchases, restaurants worldwide just like the Blue, and US supermarkets. You can also trigger a $100 Delta flight credit after you spend $10,000 in a calendar year. Now, the annual fee used to be $0 for the first year and then $95. It appears that it's just going to $99 straight out the gate, and it looks like it probably won't be waived in the first year anymore. Now, the Delta Platinum personal version. This will be getting 3 times Delta miles on purchases made directly with Delta, where previously it was 2 times, and also on purchases made directly with hotels. It will also earn 2 times miles on restaurants worldwide and US supermarkets. You can also get a $100 statement credit for TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. Always get Global Entry, and the annual fee will be increasing from $195 to $250. And finally, the big boy, and this one is one of the more interesting ones. The Delta Reserve personal version will earn 3 times miles on Delta purchases, where previously it was 2 times. 2 Delta Sky Club one-time passes, the same $100 credit for TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. There will be some access to upgrades for those who don't have status with Delta. There will be some limited availability for seat upgrades on your flight, and this is one of the more interesting benefits, access to American Express's Centurion lounges, which has been a benefit previously only reserved for those who have the Platinum Charge card and the mysterious Centurion card. But for us mere mortals, the Platinum Charge card is really the only one that has given you access to those. Now with the highest tier of the Delta Reserve, you will get that as well. And the annual fee is being increased from the already pretty high $450 to $550 a year. Now we're moving on to the business side. Now there will be some overlap here, but I still want to cover them in their own right, just in case you are looking at any of these. Now, I do want to plug very quickly, business cards are really nothing to be scared of, and a lot of people qualify without even knowing it. So I am going to link to that video. I have a whole video on business cards, how to apply for them, what they are. But because this video is so important, I'm not going to tag it right now. I'll put it at the end of the video in the end card. Go check that out if you have any questions about how business cards work. But if you're doing anything on the side, it pretty much counts to get you business cards. And a lot of people may qualify without even knowing it. So anyway, let's get into them. First, the Delta Gold card. It will get 2 times miles on Delta, restaurants worldwide, shipping, and advertising. You can get a $100 Delta statement credit after spending $10,000 in a calendar year, and this will have a $99 annual fee straight out the gate, whereas it used to be $0 and then $95. Now for the Business Platinum. This will get 3 times miles on Delta purchases, where previously it was 2, and on purchases made directly with hotels. And this part is interesting. On purchases of $5,000 or more, you will get 1.5 times instead of the normal 1. So again, this one has a couple elevated bonus categories, but on larger purchases, instead of only giving you 1 times, they're going to give you 1.5. So if you are a business that has high spend and has some major purchases coming up, that is an interesting thing to keep in mind. Like many of these other ones, you can have a $100 statement credit for TSA PreCheck or Global Entry, and the annual fee is going from $195 to $250 a year. And finally, the big boy on the business side, the Delta Reserve. So this will get you 3 times miles on Delta purchases, where previously it was 2. You get 1.5 times on everything else, after you have spent $150,000 in that calendar year. So again, that's obviously targeted towards larger businesses with a lot of spend. You get 2 one-time Delta Sky Club passes each year, just like the personal version, the same $100 credit for TSA PreCheck and global entry, same access to complimentary upgrades even if you don't have status, and yes, again, access to Centurion lounges. So for the reserves, they're basically the same, personal and business. And so with the annual fee, it will be increasing from $450 to $550. So very briefly, what do I think about all this? This is all great. Yes, some of the annual fees are going up a little bit, but in almost all cases, you're getting some sort of benefit to offset that. American Express is typically good with that. They don't really raise annual fees unless they're giving you something in return. Personally, I love American Express. The only reason I don't run an Amex system primarily is one, their transfer partners, like none of them I'm really totally interested in right now. And then there is still that acceptance thing. I run primarily Chase, and Visa I never have a problem with. I do experiment with putting American Express cards in my wallet, and most of the time I'm fine. But every once in a while I go to that one-off business where they don't take Amex. And I always feel like I have to keep a Visa in my wallet just in case, where I don't have that problem when I'm running a Chase system. But anyway, like I said, I still love American Express. They've been pretty good to me. I've never had problems getting approved. Always great credit lines. They have great bonuses and great cards. So again, I do love American Express. If you are interested in any of the Delta cards, now is the time to strike. American Express pretty steadily goes up and down with the bonuses on the Delta cards, and they have been lower. If you go on right now, if you're watching the video tonight before October, you'll see that the bonuses are quite low. And again, it looks like these elevated bonuses are only supposed to run for the month of October, so don't wait if it is something you are interested in. If you want to help a guy out, my referral link is down in the description for American Express. You just click that, it takes you to their whole portfolio, and you can pick any of the cards. I really would appreciate it. Help me go on a trip, guys. Help a guy out. If you're going to apply anyway, why not make American Express share the wealth? But again, just a little bit of strategy. All of these cards make a ton of sense year one. If you consider even like the reserve cards with their $550 annual fee, the miles that you're getting are going to way offset that anyway. And you're getting access to the Centurion lounges, so you can try those if you think you're going to pass through airports with them. So you can try those out too. And you might even get some complimentary upgrades. So what this is prime for is like even get the reserve card, get all of those miles, go on a big trip, and maybe you'll get an upgrade. So we're planning on going to Australia next year. I mean, it could happen that you book a coach ticket and you get put up front. Now, the likelihood is actually probably really low because they're going to prioritize like people who will pay for it, people with status. Basically, you're going to be last on the group to ever get an upgrade, and even then it's probably not a guarantee. So just keep that in mind, but it is at least a possibility with that higher annual fee card, which does make sense. If you're paying $550 a year, you should get some benefits back for that, besides even Centurion lounges. So it is nice to see that they're at least offering upgrades, even though I don't know how successful people are going to be in actually getting them. At least in theory it is offered. And again, with the personal cards, there is always that downgrade path to the no annual fee version. Do explore that, and if you guys have any questions about that, just drop them down below. But anyway, like I said, I'm probably going to pick at least one of these up. Probably one of the business cards. They do not show up on your personal credit report, so it does help managing your 524 status with Chase. My question for you guys is, are you going to apply for any of these? Like I said, right now the iron's hot. Time to strike if you have been thinking about any of these cards. But if you are going to apply for one, let me know down in the comments. And again, if you use my referral link, I'll say thank you in advance. Again, if you're gonna apply anyway, at least make American Express send some of it my way. But that's all I've got for you this time, guys. If you have any other comments or questions, please do leave them down below. I like hearing from you guys. If you are new to this and you'd like some one-on-one help with some strategy, I do offer consultation sessions through my Facebook page. It's no cost, no anything like that. It's just a chance. I've already done some of this. I've made some mistakes. I've learned. So if you want any help, head over to the Facebook page, drop a like, and send me a message, and we can talk strategy. But anyways, that's all I've got for you this time, guys. See you at the next one. Make sure to drop a comment down below and give the video a thumbs up. Here's some other videos that I think you'll really like. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos, and I'm on Facebook and Twitter as well. See you at the next one.